Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a long while, hasn't it? I have kitties trying to knock over the camera. Chaos as usual. So I wanted my first video back to kind of be a sit down where I kind of talk to you guys and share. It's early in the morning. I haven't even spoken, so my voice is all crazy. Barely brushed my hair and my teeth, had a cup of coffee, and decided to sit down. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys some things that have been going on, like where have I been, what's been going on with us. The last that you heard of me was not a good time. We were not in a good place. Things were not going on that were great. And so I kind of wanted to update you on everything that has been going on. So when I last left you, I was talking about my husband's addiction issue, and I was talking about how he was working on those things. All of that was true, and he was trying to work on it. However, it just kept getting worse. Instead of getting better, it was getting worse, and it just wasn't changing. Like, things were not going well. And so these kitties are going to be a problem. So we ended up splitting up, and we ended up filing for divorce. We ended up getting that divorce finalized, and we ended up being divorced for about, I can't remember, I think it was like 29 days or something like that. Then there were a lot of different circumstances going on that at the end of that 30 days, we had already talked about reconciliation. All of these different things happened within that time span. It was crazy. It was like a roller coaster of things. It felt like my life was in warp speed. So me and the kids, let's pull back a little bit. So me and the kids did move out of this home, this very same home. We did move out of here. We moved and we couldn't find a place to live. Rentals are crazy. I mean, I was a single mom with no income trying to move into a house, and wasn't working. So because of all of that, you know, my dad was trying to help us get a place to live. He was amazing. My dad was my rock during that time. It really like blossomed our relationship. I think just having him as my rock the whole time was insanely amazing. Like, he was just, I would not have made it without him for sure. And we ended up being able to move into the home that is right on the property of the church that my dad pastors. It is actually supposed to be the parsonage, which, if you don't know what that is, it means a house that the church has and owns that is set for the pastor and his family to live in. My dad hadn't lived there in a long time. I think, I don't know. I think he moved when I was like 20. So he only lived there for a few years. But I lived there when I was a teenager. So when we first moved here, that's the home that we moved into. And it was empty. It was being used as church offices, and we got turned down for so many different houses, or maybe somebody else just got chosen over us, or they just didn't want to give me the house for whatever reason. And so he ended up asking the church if they would be okay with us living there, and they were like, of course. And so we ended up moving there. So many different things with that. Like, I could be here forever telling you, because this is like the last 8 months of our life that I'm trying to like combine and squish together in a tiny video. But there was mold in the house. It's a very old house. There was mold. The pipes were corroded. Like, all of these different things kept happening with the house. And, you know, we just took it in stride, and we were thankful that we had a place at all. And, you know, it was okay, and things were happening, and we were trying to get the mold taken care of, and it seemed like we got it taken care of, but then we kept having the same health symptoms and things, and me and the kids were just always sick, and it was crazy. And so during that time of that 29 days, Joshua, a true miracle is the only way I can ever explain it, and it's the only way I ever will explain it, because that's what happened. But he was attending the church that we had attended when we were together. Me and the kids were going to my dad's church and living on that property. And he went down to an altar and he gave his heart to the Lord. Now, I have known Joshua since he was 10 years old, and during all of that time, he is 32 now, he's almost 33, and during that time span of 10 to 33, there have been so many times where I know that the Lord has been pulling him and trying to get him to, just surrender his heart to him and do things in his life. And he's been called to do many things, and he has just refused to give in and give that control over to the Lord so that he can do what he is supposed to do in his life. And I think that being without his family and the amount of alcohol he was consuming and how he was just engulfed in alcoholism, it's a miracle he's alive. It's a miracle he still has his job. Luckily, he wasn't stupid enough to drink on the job. He didn't do that. But, it would have gotten there eventually, I'm sure. He's lucky to be alive. He's lucky to not be in jail for fights or whatever. He's lucky, and so he was so engulfed in that. I think that losing his family and all of those things made him hit rock bottom, and everyone's rock bottom is very different. But he was in the parking lot of that church, and he was contemplating whether or not he was going to go in or not, and he didn't want to go in, but he was contemplating going inside. And he said that he just felt the Lord speak to him and said, like, you're not going to make it if you don't go in those doors. Like, I'm telling you, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of dealing with you. I'm tired of this song and dance we've been doing your whole life. Like, you need to make a decision. And he said that God was very harsh with him, and he heard that inside of himself, and he went in. And there was a lot of tears and a lot of going to the altar, and so Killian just woke up, so there's a kiddo in there. But he gave his heart to the Lord, and he did it fully and completely, and the dramatic change that I saw within him in a short span of time was insane. Now, although I do wish that those things would have happened before we left and went all, that wasn't his story. That wasn't what did it for him. And so everybody's different, like I said, and it takes extreme measures sometimes for people to, come to themselves and do what they need to do to change. And it's a total transformation. For sure, 100%. And so he slowly started to try and gain my trust back and do all of these things. And there were a lot of other outside circumstances, which we won't get into because it doesn't even matter. But there were a lot of outside circumstances that made it very difficult, the way we did things with the divorce and with the paperwork and with all the things and the child support and the stuff and the kids and all the things. And so it was making things very difficult for him, very difficult for me. And so we decided to nullify the divorce. And in the state of Alabama, if you do that within a certain amount of days, it's like that divorce never existed. They just kind of throw it away and say, well, you paid a bunch of money for no reason, so we're just going to tear this up, and it never happened. But we were still living separated, and we lived separated for 7 months. And we worked on ourselves. We worked on trust. We worked on all of these things. And there was so much healing that had to take place, right? There's still so much healing that has to take place. We did counseling separately. We did, he went to meetings and went to all of these things and really worked on himself. We went to separate churches for a long period of time so that we could really work on our spiritual selves separated and all of those things. And he just came and spent lots of time with us at the house that we were living in. And this house was pretty much abandoned because he wouldn't stay here alone. This is about 35 minutes away from our church that we attend and the house that we were living in. And so he worked here and went there, and it was very hard. It was a very, very, very hard time period. It really was. It was hard for me. It was hard for the kids. It was hard for everybody, but he slowly, and there was a lot of healing that he had to do with his relationship with me, but also a lot of healing he had to do with his relationship with the kids. And he really just put so much work and time and effort and so many things in that. And we just slowly started laying a foundation again and starting things from scratch and building that from the bottom up. And it was a lot, and it was there was a lot of trauma there. There's still a lot of trauma there. It doesn't heal overnight. It doesn't heal in just a few months. It doesn't heal with one situation. But after that 7 months, we were going to be separated for an entire year. Well, almost a year. We were going to get back together in May. So May is next month. We were going to get back together in May. But in February, we found out, like, me and the kids were still sick. And we're just not sickly. We usually get allergies, like, when the seasons change, but that's it, and it goes away. But this was different. This was bad. This was sick all the time, not feeling well. And the kids, I had already decided that I was going to pull them from public school. It just was not working for us. It was just a lot of affirmation and confirmation that homeschool is the way to go for us, and that's a whole other thing. But I had already pulled the kids back out of public school and started homeschooling them again. And we went to the doctor, and he said, no, there's still mold. Like, I guarantee you there's still mold. Like, you're not going to get all the mold out. You're allergic to the mold. There's still mold. You're all allergic. It's not good. You're just going to continue being sick. And so we had to think of an alternative. And so we decided in February that we were just going to go ahead. Like, we were married. We were living separated, but we were still married. And we decided that in February we were going to skip a few months and get back together in February instead of May. So we set a lot of boundaries and a lot of things, and we moved back in. It is a little bit speedier than what we had anticipated it to be, but we have just continued working on things, and we attend my dad's church together now, and he has really worked on those relationships with my family and really worked on all of those kinds of things. And we just what can I say? Like, it's been a miraculous transformation of our life and our marriage. I feel like it has been transformed and done so much better than even before all of these things happened, like at the beginning of our marriage, because I was a born-again Christ follower, and he was not, and he never has been the entirety of, well, in his life, but in our whole marriage. And so it's been kind of this lopsided kind of thing, but now there is balance, and there's peace, and there is both of us trying to work towards the same goals, and lots of things that are just amazing, and I could have never even dreamed of, let alone asked for, but they have happened. And there's so much more to our story than I can pack into 14 minutes, but I will say that there has been so much transformation and so much that has gone into working on things. We're still working on things. We went to a marriage class last night, and when we got home, we were just kind of poring over what was said and things we got from it, and things that we could work on and things that we want to change and be different. And we're still working on things. We're still unpacking things. We're still talking through things. There's a lot from his perspective, and there's a lot from my perspective of trauma and things that hurts, and things like that. There was infidelity, there was alcoholism, there was mental abuse, not physical abuse, but mental abuse and emotional abuse there. And all of that has to be unpacked and all of that has to be worked through. And we have been doing the steps to work through those things for quite some time. So the cats are opening and shutting the door. They're playing by the door if you hear the door squeaking. But all of that to say, I really want to pour into this channel. There's so many things that I feel that I want to give, so many things that I feel that I want to do with this channel that I wanted to do from the beginning. That's why I set it up to begin with. But so much was going on in my life that I felt like I couldn't, like I was stifled from sharing the things that I wanted to share and pouring into, you know, this channel, this audience, this community that I wanted to pour in. And I feel like that's lifted now. I feel like, you know, there's no stifling, there's no, you know, stumbling block or block holding me back from doing all of the things that I want to do and pour in and talk about and say. And so I can totally do that with you guys. And so that's what I want to do. So I'm going to start posting on this channel again. I'm hoping to post on all 3 of my channels, and I'm hoping to put something up on this channel at least 3 days a week. That is my goal. That is my big goal. So I'm hoping to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on this channel. That is my goal. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with that. I typically do terrible with goal setting and schedules because I'm discovering a whole lot about myself. And through this process, I have discovered a whole lot about myself. And one of those discoveries is I definitely 100% have ADHD. It's very hard. It's a struggle for me as a mom running a household and running the side hustles that I do and doing all of the things, but that is definitely something I struggle with. And so because of that, I don't do very well with like timelines and consistency is not my strong suit. Like it's just not, but that is something that I'm working towards and working on myself. And knowing myself now, I can put my knowledge of myself into, you know, solutions of the issues that I have. And I'm hoping that I can apply those things into this setting and do better at posting. And so that's what my hope is, at least. So I'm hoping to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here. I'm hoping to come at you with clean with me's. I'm hoping to come at you with some devotionals. I'm hoping to come at you with some sit downs just like this one. I'm hoping to come at you with some homeschool lifestyle videos that we, like what we do, day in the life, kind of how I prepare homeschool in a deeper way. It's changed a lot over this whole time period of what I do, how I do it, how I plan things out. As the kids get older, my planning is changing for that. So I'm hoping to share all of these things with you. Kind of do like a house tour where I kind of show you what designated spots I've set up for everything, like where I work, what I do, where we work in our homeschool room, like the kids' room, like their area, how I've set that up, and all of these different things I'm hoping to share with you. I don't mind sharing. I'm a very transparent person. And the kids will pop in every now and then. I don't want them to be the focus of my channel, but I don't mind sharing them a little bit here and there. The world we live in is ugly at times, and I don't want to focus too much on them, but I will share them a little bit here and there. And yeah, that's what I want. I hope to do some Q&As with Joshua so we can sit down and talk with you. I feel like that is an amazing outlet for ministry, that we can help couples that are going through the same types of things that we went through, whether it's infidelity or whether it is, don't knock the camera down, kitty, or whether it is addiction and getting through that. I feel like it is a huge outlet for ministry, because I know that there's so many people struggling. I know that there's so many couples struggling with marital issues and marital struggles, marital challenges, and I do 180%, probably more than that, but I do believe that the enemy is attacking marriages and the family every chance that he possibly gets. And I think that it is a perfect opportunity for me to share what we have been through, because it's a lot. We've been through quite a bit, a huge roller coaster of a lot, and we're still here. Joshua laughs and says that we are like the cockroach of marriage because we just won't die. Like, this is just, we're in it for the long haul, and we're just not going anywhere. You cannot squish us. Like, we're not going to be killed off. We are still here. And so, yeah, I want to give back because of my experience, and I want to help ease others' pain, help them know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There are ways that you can make it. Even when it seems like it's hopeless and all hope is lost, all hope was lost for us, and we still are here standing on the other side. And it has not been an easy road for any of us, the kitties are just going insane, these kittens. It has not been an easy road for any of us in this family, but we're making it through, and we're doing the things. And so I definitely want to share that with other people. But that is all I wanted to say for this video, just kind of an introduction to say, hello, I'm back, I'm here. You're going to see a real motherhood, real life. That's why I came here with my hair barely brushed, not a stitch of makeup on. I don't want to put any false pretenses on this channel. It is just me, raw and real, and that's what you're going to get all the time, and that is okay with me. I hope it is okay with you. So I hope you will join me on this journey. I hope that you'll like and subscribe and ask tons of questions. No question is too much. No question is too personal. No question is too hard for me to answer. I hope to keep compiling a list of questions that you have for me, for Joshua, for the both of us, so that we can sit down and have like a really in-depth Q&A and kind of answer any questions that are burning in your mind, any questions that you may have if you are going through anything similar, or someone you know is going through anything similar. I think it truly helps to have that knowledge when you're trying to help somebody else, of what they may be going through. And so if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. If you don't feel comfortable asking them in the comments, you can always email me. I will leave my email in the description box, and I would love to hear from you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope if you're new that you will like, comment, and subscribe, because we're going to be in for a wild ride. So buckle up. Thank you guys. I love you, and have a good day. Bye.